and welcome to Kay's Whispered Chapters. I'm Kay, and here you'll find whispered readings of original romance stories, cozy moments, and the opening chapters of books I've read. So get comfortable, grab a blanket, and settle in while I share tonight's story. Home is a reader insert optional main character romance story with cute and fluffy vibes of what it's like to deal with a long distance relationship, with a happy ending, of course. So let's get started. Okay, are you ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. You click the spacebar on your laptop to begin playing the movie to sync up to his own DVD playing on his TV from the other side of the world. The two of you are experts at this by now, figuring out down to the second where to pause and press play to be able to watch your favorite movies together. With your phone snug between your cheek and the pillow, you pull your blankets up to your chin as the movie begins to play on the laptop resting in front of you. And hearing his chuckling, humming, or even his breathing almost makes it feel as if he were right there with you. Almost. Of course, you can't have his arms around you or rest your head on his chest, but you can only do so much to feel like a couple when he has a busy life traveling and you're stuck in your apartment working on editing videos for your job, preparing projects, and meeting deadlines to keep your boss happy. Movie nights are now reserved for weekend mornings for you, and breaks in his schedule for him when he can find time to watch at least half a film with you. You're thankful he makes such an effort, allowing you to pick your favorite movie the two of you have watched 100 times before, and humor you by following along when you begin to quote your favorite scenes and giggle at all the best parts. Next time, we don't even have to play the movie. He begins to tease, and hearing his deep, sleepy voice on the other end of the phone eases every ounce of tension in your body. You can just quote all the parts for me and it will be just as good. Hush, you giggle, and then you tell him, you know I love this movie. And you only love the movie so much when he is so many miles away because it reminds you of when you first met, when he barely had any money to take you to see the film, but he insisted on the two of you going regardless. He hums, and you can tell from the hint of a few slurred words he's growing tired already. And I love you. Of course, he always grows a bit more sentimental when the day has been too long and he's ready to sleep the stress away. And he reminds you often that listening to your voice only puts him even more at ease. Are you falling asleep on me already? You ask. Words no higher than a whisper, and the two of you are hardly paying attention to the movie at this point. It's midnight here, he says with a yawn, and you can picture his squished face the moment you hear him stretching. It's bittersweet, imagining him snuggled up in bed with the hotel TVs being the only source of light in the room, his phone in one hand, and his heavy lids failing him as he tries to keep them open. You can sleep if you want, you sigh, reaching to check the timer on the bar to see only 30 minutes have passed. I'm sure your day is busy tomorrow. You can only guess as much when he's hours ahead of you, knowing time differences sometimes get in the way of even your long-distance movie nights. I want to talk to you, he assures you, but it's more mumbled and a bit more sleepy. You know he won't last much longer, and typically one of you ends up falling asleep with the other still on the line. Not that you mind too much. because it's second best to getting to fall asleep wrapped up in his arms. You need your rest, but you call his name, feigning a strict stern tone that has him chuckling. Text me when you wake up. I'll call you. I'll be sleeping. You remind him, just in case he manages to get extra sleep somehow. Send me a picture instead. He agrees with sleepy laughter spilling from his lips, says his goodnights and I love yous, and your heart aches just a little more for him the moment you hang up the phone. Hours pass before your phone buzzes with a new message, or at least one you bother checking, while you have your computer, headphones, and different hard drives spread around you on your bed. You pull your nose from your laptop and the video you have been editing to check his text with a complimentary picture of his sleepy face just as you asked. The widest grin grows on your face, taking in his pouty pink lips and messy hair as he rests against his white pillowcase. He's never looked more inviting, finding yourself wishing you could somehow teleport to his bed in that moment just to hold him close. Thanks for the pic, you tell him the moment he picks up your call, listening to him mumbling something into the receiver. Are you brushing your teeth? He hums, placing images of his sleepy face and toothpaste covering his mouth in your head. A moment later, you hear the sounds of water running as he finishes up, a grin growing on your lips as the two of you enjoy doing the simplest of tasks with the other on the line. Did I interrupt your work? You know me too well, you admit with a chuckle. Then I know you probably haven't eaten, right? I'm going to, you tell him, only lying a little. Right after I finish cutting up this video, and you can't forget to eat. His tone is low and a bit more stern, and it makes you grin from how concerned he is over nothing. I didn't forget, you sigh, falling back onto your pillows as he chuckles in disbelief. Okay, well, promise me. Another voice suddenly echoes through the speaker from far away, assuming someone must be needing him so soon. I'll call you back, okay? Okay, you completely used to conversations cutting short by now. The two of you are quick with your goodbyes and then you're back to editing. The familiar ache in your heart growing as your thoughts become carried away in the moment. Rushed phone calls and missed messages begin to build as the weeks pass without him. And even though you try your best to be understanding, it's hard to deny the emptiness surrounding you when he's gone. It doesn't take long to get lost in your videos once again, attempting to drown out the worries and lonesomeness by finishing the part of the edit you had been working on. And you only pull your eyes from the bright screen when you hear a knock at your door. With a furrowed brow and pursed lips, you slip from your bed to answer, coming face to face with a younger boy holding up a brown paper bag, a grin on his lips and a receipt in the other hand. It's definitely not the first time he has surprised you by ordering food for you himself. After all, he's so determined to make sure you aren't missing any meals, and you only wish you could return the favor by taking care of him while he's away. Have a good day. You can already tell by the heaviness in his eyes as he looks through the laptop's camera the answer to your question. Of course, he would never admit it, always pretending he's fine just so you won't worry. But it's clear as he struggles to stay awake after snuggling into the comfort of the hotel bed that he's beyond exhausted, yet determined to keep his promise by video chatting as soon as he's done with schedules and showered. Of course, he says with a sleepy grin, batting his eyes a few times, and each blink lasts longer than the last as he attempts to peel his lids open. You can sleep if you want, you giggle with your own laptop as you lay in bed, even though it's only the early afternoon and you're a part of the world. The curtains are shut and the only light remains a dim glow from the lamp on your bedside table, but it feels nearly as good as if he were right there next to you. I can see your 2 blinks from fully blasting out anyway. Not true, he says, and then yawns before his head falls to one side. I'm awake. I'm talking to you. I'm happy. You narrow your eyes to make a face at him, watching him chuckle, and his face lights up just a bit when you stick your tongue out at him. I can think of something to keep you awake. How about you take off that robe you're wearing? With that, you wink, and his laughter grows louder before looking to his right to make sure his roommate isn't done with his shower yet. I'm starting to think you only love me for my body, he tells you as he begins to pound, causing you to giggle. Come on, I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I don't think we have enough time. Laughter falls from his lips before he sighs, and the sleepiness in his body sets in as the 2 of you say your goodnights. I love yous, and you refrain from telling him just how much you miss not being able to fall asleep next to him. Later that night, you find yourself in your vanity mirror after just having washed up, making faces with a kitten filter on your phone as you take pictures to send him. Each one earns more giggles, and you end up sending 3 different pictures with kitten ears in your bathrobe until you're satisfied. You hope he will enjoy your silliness when he awakens in the morning, finding the messages you send to one another before and after sleep another way to remain close. You head to bed early that night with an aching heart, anticipating receiving a message in return in the morning. And you admit to yourself sometimes it's the only thing getting you through your day. When you miss him, miss his voice so close, and miss his touch as he holds you, the longing grows unbearable, and time seems to pass slower the more you find yourself needing him. Scheduling movie nights in the afternoon and video chats to pretend you're falling asleep next to one another can only do so much, and eventually the ache in your chest, the loneliness, the desire to be close to him, as if you teardrops hitting your pillow you never allow him to see. There's no point in making it known just how much you miss him, so you pretend you're fine without him, as you juggle work projects, videos, and presentations, and fall asleep with him as the last thing on your mind. He spends another week overseas and it feels like forever without him, but the days are counting down to when you can feel his arms around you again. It's the anticipation to see him after so long that gives you the strength to keep going, making each message, each phone call, each picture and video chat all the more exciting when you plan your first meal back together, your first movie, your first night out, and secretly to yourself, you imagine nothing but the feeling of his arms holding you close as you fall asleep against his chest. It's a Tuesday night when he sneaks into your apartment, spotting the familiar sight of you bundled up with your favorite blanket on the couch, laptop, hard drives, and memory cards scattered about, and the clock reached just past midnight as he presses his lips to your forehead. You're the one that can hardly hold your eyes open after waiting hours for the news of his plane landing, but he says nothing as he plucks the cap from his head, peels his jacket from his body, and settles beneath the blanket with his head on your chest. Without a word, you pull him close, smiling on the inside even though you're still half asleep, and somehow it feels like a dream to finally have him so close. He can't help but to reach for you, cold fingers slipping beneath your t-shirt as his palms take in the warmth of your body, and he leans in closer to press his lips against your own in a soft, sleepy kiss. And now you realize it's not a dream. He's with you, arms as you hold one